Good evening. First of all, I want to say thanks for all the positive comments I've been getting. I really do appreciate them. You know, nice when people give me some feedback. You might have guessed I tend to have a bit of a positive attitude, and I do like positivity in life. I mean, I hear so many negative people in this job. You know, when I go to places, it does me head in. You know, I like to hear positive things. So, thanks very much for all that. Well, I'm on my last 2 nights on this run. Next week, I'm at the other company at Gateshead on day shift, just for a week, and as far as I'm aware, it's Class 1 multi-drop. I've no idea what area I'll be doing, so could be North Tyneside, which is the one I'm most used to. Could be Team Valley with urban trailer, get all them off, take that back, get a standard trailer and go do collections. Or it could be Gateshead, which you've got a lot of tight spaces in Gateshead. It's not that bad. Multi-drop's not my favourite thing, but you know, at the end of the day, the agency boss, he said he's got 11 drivers on holiday. So he says, I know it's not your favourite thing and you're used to night shift, but, and I went, I go on. I did drop it in that I'd hoped for a week off, but it's kind of, unless I say something in advance, I'll say, look, I just didn't think anything was coming up, but if you need me to work, I'll work. That's what it is. So he's done me enough favours, so I'm not going to let him down. Like, anyway, he's agreed to give me a week's holiday starting 2nd of September, so I can get some jobs done on my car. No serious, it's just I want the bodywork tidying up before winter. You know, just make it look nice. So I'm earning the money. The car never lets me down. It goes through MOT. I mean, this year all it needed was a drop link. You know, I mean, you can't go wrong with a 57 plate car, can you? So I'm just going to keep on top of it, keep it in good nick. So it'll be a 3-day job for that, the guy at the garage reckons, or the paint shop. So I'll get it done. This company, on Saturday the 7th, he's got 2 of the night shift drivers doing the CPC, so they'll be off the Friday night, the week that I'm on holiday. So if he needs me to come in for that night, well, yeah, I'll do it. Because as well as liking the job, I mean, if they offered me a permanent job there, I would snatch the hand off. I really would. So, you know, keep them sweet, like, you know. I mean, the operations manager, I have a laugh with him. And he knows I'm no company boy, but he knows I like the job, like, you know. So he's happy with what I do, I'm happy with the way I'm treated and what I get paid. So it's a no-brainer, innit? Right. We are roughly half an hour from Wetherby, near Leeds, and we've got a major diversion. Well, I say major, it's a pain in the arse diversion on the cards. If there's no hold-ups, it's inconvenient. to say the least. Last night, I came round a bend just after junction 45. The closure was supposed to be at 44, and I come round this bend. The road was like this, there was virtually nothing, and all of a sudden I was met with 3 lanes of standing traffic. 3 lanes with brake lights, and it was, oh, wonderful. So what would normally be 15 minutes to my drive time to Rochdale, I was stuck there crawling up to the road, crawling up to junction 44. It took me 45 minutes. Now, it's not normally that bad, really not. I'm going to back off a bit and let this guy go, because otherwise he's never going to get past. When I do this, I just knock my cruise down a couple of miles an hour. I'll give him a chance to get past. I'll probably end up overtaking him again when I'm going downhill, but there you go. And at least he's being nice and polite. He's thanking me. It's the ones you flash them in and they don't thank you, or you back off, then flash them in, they don't thank you. You know, just it takes to flash your indicators, eh? But, like, what do I know? So anyway, like I say, last night I hit this traffic jam. I can only say it must have been everybody racing up to the cones at the last minute, and it just caused absolute gridlock. And then, as we're stood in the traffic, you've got 2 lanes of trucks, the cars just whizzing down, whizzing down, whizzing down. Just absolute mayhem. So I phoned Ronnie at Rochdale, who's like the senior forklift driver, and says, look, I'm running late. So I just got on the M62, and I says, look, you're going to be looking at after 11:15. I says, that's ballpark figure, it could be 11 o'clock. So he's going, oh, thanks for letting me know. He says, just go on Bay 3 anyway. So I'm like, alright, no bother. Anyway, I got an absolute flyer over M62 and got in at 10:32. So I was 2 minutes after my booking time. You get half-hour window anyway. So it was like a few eyebrows were raised. You must have been flying, mate. Aye, aye. No hold-ups. So that's that. So I clawed it back. I was happy. Then I had 3 diversions on the way home. So made it a relatively long night, but I am getting paid by the hour, so you know, money talks, doesn't it? But it was nothing difficult, just time consuming. But then again, I got to Rochdale and I had 2 hours 45 break. No great shakes, is it? So chilling out with Neville on next bay, like, you know, having a laugh. You know, can't knock it. So anyway, this diversion, it basically takes you off the A1, whereas normally we'll go straight down the A1, come to where it splits A1, M1, and go straight down the M1, whereas the other lads, they go straight down the A1 and then pick up the M18. So it takes you off down the A64 towards Leeds city centre, and you pick up the Leeds Outer Ring Road, follow that for a bit, then you pick up the A63 past the big shopping centre, I think it's called the Springs or something, and that takes you onto the M1 junction 46, I believe, Skelton Lake Services. So getting onto the M1, that's alright for me, but for the Leicester lads it makes it more of a pain, because then they've got to go down to the M62, then cut across to the A1, because there's a diversion on at Sheffield. If they go down the M1, they've got a 20-minute delay down there. Apparently you don't want to do that diversion in an artic. So then they've got a diversion at Barnsdale Bar near Barnsley. So those lads are running very close to the time. Dave ran out of time the other night on the way down, had to have a break. It was alright coming back, like. But Michael made it in. He had a minute left on his clock. So yeah, multiple diversions for those lads can make it difficult. So, I mean, for me, it's normally, the fastest I've done Rochdale is 2 hours 44, I believe. It was 3 hours 40 last night. So that's an hour is a big difference, because it's 150 mile. You know, to lose an hour, I mean, that's a lot. So, but it is what it is. I mean, more often than not, I can have the usual diversions only cost me a few minutes, so it's no great shakes. But if we can beat this diversion, I'm going to stop going down the M1 on the way, because they've extended the 50 limits all the way from junction 48 all the way down to the M62. So if I go down the A1 and pick up the M62, I'm going at full chat all the way, and it's something like 4 or 5 miles longer. But because I'm going at full chat and I've got no lane hoggers in front of me, I'm actually going to get there quicker. So, plus which, you don't have the hassle of lane hoggers messing you about, like, you know what I mean? So I don't mind if it's when it was like just 3 junctions, but when it's going 6 junctions, you know, it's a bit like pulling teeth in it. So I'm gonna give that a go, if we can beat this diversion. So we're just passing Ripon now. This is where I come off when I go visit my mother. Then cut down the A61, pick up the 59 to Odskipton. So let's see what we can do about this. The closure is supposed to start at 8 o'clock. The other night we beat it, because it was simply very late setting it up. But then last night there must have been bang on 8 o'clock. So, or near us, damn it. Tonight we'll get there for maybe 25 to 9. So if I get the closure signs going on, and it's saying closed at 44, I'm actually going to come off at 45, cut past Bramham Village, and then jump on the 64 that way. And that way I'm not hitting the queues where it filters into one lane. So that's the plan. That's the plan. So we'll see what happens. We might beat it, we might not, but we'll see how it goes. Right, I'll see you in a bit. I've just passed Weatherby Services, and on the ramp back there, there's an abnormal load holding area where they can stop for their overnight breaks, and it is full of machinery used for roadworks. I see it all coming the other way at night. It's absolutely chocker with it. They're all stood behind the vans waiting. So, am I going to get lucky? What's this? Right, this is the first sign. Closed 44 to 42. 42 is the split, A1 and M1. So, I'm guessing they're just starting to put the cones out now. So if I'd have seen that sign before, I would have come off here at junction 45 and followed the road along. In fact, I am going to do that. I've just got a bad feeling with it being 25 to 9 and it being listed for 8 o'clock. See, I went round this bend last night and then you go round to your right and round to your left again. As I came round the left, that was it, standing traffic. And it's a fair old lick to junction 44 when you literally crawling at walking speed. I think at one point I was overtaken by Brian the Snail. So this will probably add, I mean, look at that for a caravan, eh? That's the second one of them I've seen tonight. There's the second one. They both came out of Newton Aycliffe truck stop. There's some money in them things. I've seen them being used at things like film locations. They might have been getting used for filming a Vera up in North East. Right. These escape rooms, I don't know what they're for. It's some sort of retreat or something. So this is going to add maybe 5 minutes. But it's better than taking the risk of running into standing traffic. Now, that's a place where you don't want to end up. That's DVSA Weybridge. You get pulled on A1 around here, you're going to end up in there. It's a part-time site. At the moment it's been open, he cut that lane then. At the moment it's been open over the last couple of weeks, maybe 3-4 nights. So,
after 300 feet, enter the roundabout, take the fourth exit onto Wattlesake.
Where's he going?
Take the fourth exit towards A1M, towards Boston Spa.
Right, as you saw from that sign, the Leeds Festival's on, so be glad you're not having to come down here during the day because it'll be absolutely chocker. Now this might be me being paranoid. I might get to the 44 junction up top and it just sends me straight down. But if it has just stopped, well, I've just saved myself a world of pain. You know what I mean? So, if it had been 8 o'clock, if I'd have got away on time, then I would have risked it and just gone straight down and probably made it. As you can see, 50 mile an hour, we're not really losing much. So, right, you may remember that Michael was having issues with his proximity sensor at the front going off, telling him he had pedestrians ahead of him. And he was driving in bananas all night. He got out, cleaned the sensors, everything. It was still doing it. He got out of his truck last night when we was doing his checks, and he says, "Oh, I got something to show you." And I went, "What?" He said, he showed me this photograph, and he's got a cuddly toy. It's a badger with a company uniform on it. And the fitter hung it on the coat up by its neck. And he says, "Look, the fitter's hung me badger by its neck." I says, "What's he done that for?" He says, "Well, you know how my alarms were going off?" I went, "Yeah." He said, the badger was moving around and blocking the sensor. I just looked at him and I thought, so you had the badger on the dashboard and it was blocking the proximity sensor. So it was basically telling you there's something in front of the truck. Yeah. Now for those of you who can remember Dad's Army, I had the voice of Captain Mannering talking to Private Pike going through my head. Remember the line? "You stupid boy." You couldn't write it. Look, there we go. It's just starting. So I'm going to skip that cue. Oh, what the fuck was that? I'm not happy with that. So, you'll be able to see it clearer down here. Now this might be that they're still putting the cones out when we get through, because that's moving quite freely. It could be that they're all coming off at this junction.
The speed limit is 40 miles per hour.
I'm soon going to find out. Leeds Festival, residents only parking and that. I'll tell you what, if you was going to park your car and walk all that way, well, it is at Bramham Park, right? But you can't get in the local way there. Well, we're alright, you see, because anybody going to the festival will be long inside there. I'm assuming where it has the car park down here, they must have a park and ride into it. It might seem a bit of a drag, but like I say, we're going faster than them there. So if it lets me get on here, we'll be alright. We'll be in it. Now there is the truck with the arrow. Is he dropping cones or are they coming off? This is the question. I think he's still dropping cones, you know. Have a look. Yeah, he is. They might have closed this slip road though. So, in which case we'll be forced down 64 anyway. It might not. Might be one of the last ones to get through.
After 1,000 feet, turn left at the roundabout, taking the second exit.
A1M south, closed. Let's have a look. There's nothing coming up this slip road yet.
At the roundabout, taking the second
Ah, he's
exit.
closed it. So we are going down the 64.
Take the second exit.
Oh well,
M62 towards Manchester.
if we'd have got stuck in the traffic, that would have been it. Those are the last cars and trucks getting through. The very last ones. You could just see the lights back there now. So maybe we would have made it by the skin of his teeth. I very much doubt it, because we would have been in the queue. So we've just saved a world of pain.
5.1 miles.
Michael and Dave are going to run straight into that. I went, speak of the devil. Right, I'll get back to you. Right, sorry about the interruptions. I've just informed him that he's not going to make that road closure. So we're on the A64 now, heading towards Leeds. You see that bus? That's a cafe. Looks a bit scruffy, but it's actually very nice. So stay on here, down to the ring road, and there'll come a point where the satnav will lose its shit. It's not just this satnav. Michael's does it, and the one in Michael's truck does it. It's because there's a new link road and it doesn't recognise it. So now, if I'd have sat in that queue, by the time we would have got to the junction, them cones would have been right up to 44. Everybody would have been coming up the slip road, and then it would be busy down here. As it stands, you can see I've got note in front of me. So my ETA was 9:45. It's now 9:52. So I mean, what's that? Nothing, is it? 7-8 minutes. So I'm not going to complain about that. Now, when you first get a diversion like this, it will feel like it's going on forever. But after a while, you realise that it's not as bad as you think. You know, it just feels like it's going on. And that's because you're busy watching the clock. You know what I mean? You're thinking you're going miles out of your way, but you cover the ground quicker than you think. You really do. So, I mean, don't be worrying too much about time. I mean, at the end of the day, you get there when you get there. And this is another reason why I say, wherever you're going, wherever possible, make sure you've got a contact number for somebody at the other end. Because then, if you do hit a delay, well, you know, you can warn them. I mean, I did worst case scenario when I phoned Ronnie last night. So the fact that I got there earlier than expected, just 2 minutes beyond my booking time, that was a bonus. And in some small way, it does make you look good, like, you know. So, but sometimes, like I say, if you can think in front, like we've had this diversion all week, and on and off in the weeks before. So, as you can see, the satnav has suddenly lost its marbles. So there you go. It'll pick it up again when we get down to the shopping centre. So there you go. And why are these bridges lit up pink? If anybody knows why there's pink lighting on these bridges, can you let me know in the comments?
Turn back where possible.
You know, there's another one down here, I think.
Route recalculation.
It must be a reason behind it. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you know where the diversions are going to be, you know, sometimes you can plan an escape route. So when you see it coming up like I did, then you can think, right, I can jump the gun here. So, you know, sometimes, I mean, that might not have played off. You know, I might have gone up there and found out that I would have had time to play with and been bumped straight on. You see, here we go, another pink bridge. And straight back on. As it happens, I would not have made it. So, there you go. Michael's told me there is an alternative route on that diversion. Instead of coming towards Leeds, you turn towards York, and there's somewhere where it takes you back onto the A1 at another junction further down. But knowing the A64 like I do, you've got to make sure that you know where you're going, because you come off here and take the wrong shortcut in an artic, you are going to be in a world of shit. So you have to be very, very careful. So personally, I just stick to the route I know. I would not need to go that other one and pick up the A1 again, because the M1, it's going to suit me. Plus, I've cut out 4 junctions of those roadworks on the M1 by coming this way. So I'm only going down now a couple of junctions from Skelton Lake Services to the M62. So it's no great shakes really. So it is what it is. Now, like I say, I mean, you can tell by my accent I'm not from North East. Born and bred in West Yorkshire, so I kind of have a bit of an unfair advantage over the other guys when it comes to diversions in Yorkshire. I've done a lot of work in Manchester in the past. I was a 7.5 ton driver for a parcels company there for quite a few years. Covered all of Greater Manchester, parts of Cheshire and that. So, and then when I lived in Liverpool with my late missus, I was a 7.5 ton driver there. I was covering Merseyside, Lancashire, North Wales. So M62 corridor, you know, I do have like a fair bit of knowledge. It's just adapting that knowledge from 7.5 ton to artic. Obviously there's places where you can go in a 7.5 where you wouldn't dream of taking an artic. You just got to remember that.
The speed limit is 30 miles per hour. Take the third exit towards M62, towards Manchester.
Now we're near enough back on the onto the M1 now. Now last night, Michael was asking me if he could cut across down the A63 this way and pick up the A1 at junction 42. So I said, well, I'm not sure. And I said, I know it's got a diversion sign on it, but most of the trucks go straight on and pick up the M62. I says, it's up to you. I said, if you want to take the risk, I says, well, go for it. I says, but I thought, I'm not sticking my neck out and saying, oh yeah mate, just go that way, and then find out it gets stuck. It probably can, because otherwise it'd have a no HGV sign on it, wouldn't it? But it's like, no, I'm not advising nobody. So, just what it is. I'm not getting the blame when he turns round and says to the boss, oh, you're stuck, why? Oh, well, he told me to go this way. Ah, no, don't be blaming me. So, right, onto the M1. And we're in the 50 limit. There's the sign for Skelton Lake Services. So, to be honest with you, I think unless Vosa have got a rolling roadblock going at Artic Services, like they've caught me out with a couple of times, I think I might get into Rochdale for 9:45, to be honest with you. Just depends if I hit any roadworks. I know there is roadworks at Artic. If they're already set up by the time I've got there, then I shouldn't have an issue. Well, I say a couple of times, with it being in a dangerous place where you come round on the hill and then you drop down the other side, the roadworks start. It goes down 2 lanes just after the bend. So that's why they've had the Vosa doing a rolling roadblock to stop in the traffic. So they've got time to do the dangerous part. Because otherwise they'll come flying round like, you know, and it's what it is. So, again, those feel painfully slow, but they don't hold you up any longer than they have to do. It's a psychological thing. When something's holding you up, it feels longer than it actually is. You know? I mean, you've seen this, I'm like 6-7 minutes behind schedule now. So, no big deal is that, is it? You know? So if people turn around and they say, oh, roadworks, diversions and all this about night shift, there you go. That's living proof it's not as bad as what people claim it to be. You know? It's inconvenient and it's frustrating. But at the end of the day, in the majority of times, you're not losing that much. So, if people want to whinge about it, let them whinge. You know, I'm not bothered. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it. I'll take your keys, I'll take your truck. You know what I mean? I'm not arsed, show me the money. You know? So, right, I'm going to crack on and we'll see what's what. Well, looks like another stroke of luck tonight. Artic Services, no speed limits. Now, where this bend is, where those cars are disappearing now, you'll see just after the entrance slip road, that would be where the lane closures were starting. So obviously you come flying up here and you've got them closing 2 lanes here. You've not got much warning. So hence the Vosa would, at the bottom of the hill there, they would start doing it as you, before you come down and hit the dip, the rolling roadblock would start and they'd slow you right down to a snail's pace going up the hill. And that gives them enough chance to get the signs out and sort out the start of the cones. Once they've got the initial cones out, then they're not bothered. You know, it's just a bit where it's blocking the road. So I'd say the longest I've been sat there crawling up that hill would be like 10 minutes. That's it. It just feels like a lifetime. So it is what it is. Now, unless there's any hold-ups between here, which is Brighouse, and Junction 21 at Rochdale, then I am going to make it for my scheduled time of quarter to 10. So I've got a total of 20 miles to go. That's 17 on the motorway. So at full speed we'll be coming off the motorway just after, well, just before 20 to 10, and then 5 minutes to get into the hub. So looks like my scheduled time of quarter to 10. But you can never predict when you're going to get lane closures between Halifax and Saddleworth. It just seems to be random up there. It's never a full, very often it's not a full closure. Very rare you get a full closure up there. But it can be down to one lane, maybe 2 lanes, you know, it is what it is. Change that back to miles an hour. We've got a fair bit of weight on here tonight, so it might struggle to hold speed up here. But I've got it on the kick down anyway. So for those of you who don't know what the kick down is, you probably won't be showing it on your training. But if you press your pedal, your accelerator really hard, you'll feel a click. You haven't broken anything. What happens is that kicks the gearbox down a gear. So as you can see, it's revving beyond the green now, and it's dropped down from 12th to 11th. That's to give me the extra oomph up the hill. So generally speaking, companies might not be too happy about using it too much because it will increase fuel consumption. Not massively, but obviously only use it when you have to do. Because companies do monitor how much fuel you use. You know, it's one of their major expenses, so if you're drinking it like I drink lager on a weekend, then they're not going to be happy with you. But hey, 55 mile an hour up a steep hill. Can't knock these high vehicles. Right, I'll crack on, and we've done it. We've made up time, and we got lucky. So another night on night shift, and how to beat a diversion. Well, how to beat delays on a diversion. So thanks for watching, thanks again for all the comments. A big welcome to new subscribers and new viewers, and a big thank you to those of you who stuck around from day one. So all the best. I probably won't get to film out again before weekend, and hopefully I might get some multi-drop footage next week. We'll see what happens. Alright, have a good weekend. If you can't be good, be careful. See ya.